the third Small Business Startup Support Series. I hope you were tuned in to our first and second part. We've got a lot of great people that are giving of their time to make sure that you are successful. So we're going to go on, and I just want to say that when we hold small business empowerment fairs, we always have a resource fair that provides you with a lot of wonderful vendors to provide you with the information. They're going to also be answering your questions if you have any. And so we'll just go on and, pardon me, go in the order that we have listed on the flyer so that you can go, so that it's easy for you to follow along. So I'm going to call on the Laura Sigmund. Laura Sigmund is from Best Practices Consulting Services, LLC. And the type of service that she provides is business consulting. Laura, can you go and start and tell us about your business?
Oh, sure. First off, thank you for giving this wonderful platform to reach out to our Detroit-based businesses in such an unprecedented time. It is very pleasant to see that the city has wrapped up really quickly to assist with these small business resource fairs. So since 2008, we've been helping small businesses around capacity building, organization design, organization retrofits, meaning you probably need to collapse your organization and restructure it. But we also do a lot of financial fitness. We do a lot of work with Motor City Match around doing financial projections, business valuations, and making sure that you have the right instruments, lending instruments, to move your business to the next level.
Great, that's wonderful. All right, and next on our list, we have Dale Grant. He is from Ashton Business Consulting, PLLC, and his service is accounting. Dale, are you present?
I am. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here.
So my business, I'm a CPA, and I provide accounting, tax, and advisory services to individuals, small businesses, and nonprofits in and around Metro Detroit. So right now, in particular, I'm working with a lot of my clients as it pertains to making sure that we've got their taxes up to date, as well as ensuring we've got their financial statements up to date in order to try to get out here and get some of these funding opportunities, these grant opportunities, and then also having conversations about keeping that momentum moving forward as they continue in the success of their business and being able to properly manage the finances of their business and understand what that means.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for that. And next we have Shamika Milbourne, and her service, her company she is with Upton Law, PLLC, and her service is legal. Shamika?
Good evening, everyone. And it's Shakina.
Oh, and please forgive me. Shakina.
It happens all the time. That's all right. So yes, I own Upton Law PLLC. It's a vendor for Motor City Match, where we actually help small business owners with legal services. And that can start with anything from when a business first starts, so the formation of the business of an LLC, a nonprofit, or a corporation. And we go a little deeper into that. If they have contracts, vendor issues, or anything like that. Aside from that, I also work with people if they need to file bankruptcy. Because one of the things I discovered is that sometimes a business owner needs to file bankruptcy to clear up their credit to then get the lending that they need on the back end. So we specialize in, I consider it business and bankruptcy.
Okay, thank you. And next we have Diane Walker of Diane Walker LLC, and her service is business consulting. Diane? Just a second, Diane, we can't hear you. 1 second, we're having just a little difficulty here.
Linda, coming in. So Diane, it looks as though that's something on your end because on our end, you are unmuted. So do you have your audio on your computer? So how about we go to the next panelist? Diane, would you mind leaving and calling back in? Because it could be some technical difficulties on your end. Okay? So if you want to call on out and then come back in, we'll let you right back in and we'll pick up on your introduction. If you want to leave the meeting and then come back in. Okay, thank you. Linda, you want to move on to your next panelist?
Yes, thank you. All right, so our next panelist is Vivian and Jackie Palmer. And they are from branding and consulting. Their service is marketing, branding, and consulting. That's excellent. And they are from Good Life Agency, LLC. Vivian and Jackie.
Hi. It's just the Good Life Agency. So we are a team of strategists. We are a provider for Motor City Match as well. So we do focus on business planning, whether that's to launch or relaunch your business. And we help our clients figure out strategy development and different operational strategies. And then from there, we help them launch any branding and marketing campaigns that they need. So anything from developing a new brand to figuring out, what your messaging is to different audiences, or defining a messaging campaign and helping you launch that, all the way through to automation marketing. And then of course, we also do large and small scale events. So if you have a launch party or any type of gala or anything like that. So strategy, training, and development for government, small businesses, and nonprofits across the city.
Oh, great. Thank you. Next, we have Ashley. Is that Ashley Missy? And she is from Accounting Aid Society, and her services that she provides is accounting and business consulting. Is Ashley on the line?
Ashley is not on the line. She will not be here. You can move on to your next panelist. And before you continue, Linda, we have Lily Hamburger. She is our retention and attraction president with DGC. Please forgive me, Lily, if I get your title incorrect. She does a lot of great things for small businesses through Motor City Match. So once we get to the end of the panel, if we could introduce her and let her speak on what she's here to speak on.
Okay, I most certainly will.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Our next panelist is Marilyn Trent, and she is with Trent Creative, and her services are marketing and branding. Marilyn?
Yes, hi. Thank you for having me on this panel. Excuse me. I've been in business for over 27 years. We've helped hundreds of small businesses solve their marketing problems so they can sell more and sell better. You have one chance to make a good impression, and we ensure that good impression is the best it can be. We provide branding services, logos, brochures, digital and print media, which includes websites. Our clients are nonprofits, tier 1 manufacturing suppliers, and a lot of B2B service industries, small to medium size. So yeah, so I really appreciate you having me on this panel.
Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Thank you. Is Lily on the line so Lily can kind of give some information on herself?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Hi, Lily.
Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me, and best wishes to everyone on the line. I know it's a really difficult time to be in business right now with these uncertainties and loss of revenue and health issues and everything that's going on. I am with the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation, and we have been working closely with our partners from the city to the state to the federal level, trying to get as many resources as possible out to small business owners. And so I'm here tonight to talk about how Detroit business owners can connect with a specialist to get assistance in completing their loan applications to the SBA. So that's what I'm here to talk about this evening.
Awesome. Well, thank you. We thank you all for being in attendance. I know we've got several callers on the
Linda,
line.
Diane is back.
Oh, great. Hi, Diane.
Jalen, can we get Diane unmuted? Or did she leave?
I believe she left.
Okay, so we will introduce Diane when she comes back in.
Okay. All right. And at this point, Jalen, I think it is we're going to start on our Q&A. Callers, you will have an opportunity to ask questions. If you have a question, all you have to do is press *9. That will raise your hand. We will be able to see it, and then we will unmute your line. You will be able to ask your question, and then one of the panelists, whoever your question is directed to, will be able to answer your question. Panelists, all of these people are calling in on the phone. If you have any information, any telephone numbers or email addresses or what have you that you would like for them to have, please make sure that you provide that information to them, because they are on the telephone and I know they would love to have that information from you. And I think we are ready to start, Jalen.
Okay. First we have caller 867. So these are the last 3 digits of your cell phone number. So caller 867, you are unmuted.
And make sure we let the callers know how they raise their hands.
Yeah, so you can call in, you can raise your hand by pressing *9. If you press *9, there will be you can show us that your hand is raised, and we will let you in so you can ask your question.
Hello.
Hello. Yep, you are on.
Hi, yes, my name is Sandra Page, and I'm with K Page Management and Design Agency. I actually had a question prior to the call starting to find out how to get into the video portion of the call this evening. So this was kind of way before everything kind of started.
So your question was, I'm sorry, was how to
I got it, Linda. Could you email me, please, at BARNES?
Hold on, let me give that. Go ahead.
It is BARNES. NES. JA. At DetroitMI.gov.
At DetroitMI.gov.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I'll do that now.
Thank you. And I just want to let all our callers know that this is only Q&A. So we are here for you as long as you would like to be here and raise your hand and ask questions for our panelists. So press *9 so that you can get any of your questions asked from any of our great technical providers. Diane, I'm going to unmute you. Are you able to talk now? No, we cannot. Sorry. So Jalen,
yes.
You have your hands that are raised.
Yes,
Okay.
Is she able to call in?
She is. Do you want to use the call? You can use the call-in number, Diane, if you would like to call in. I think I have your email. I'll email you the call-in number. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Okay, caller 844. Caller 844, you are unmuted. Caller 844.
Okay, hello?
Hello? Yes, you're on.
Okay. Okay, thank you. My name is Paulina Petkoski, and I have a question as a self-employed business owner. I've already applied for unemployment, and it's saying that I'm eligible for PUA. Does that mean I should not, or that the PPP application would be redundant? Is there a preference to be on one or the other? And that application for PPP, it opens tomorrow, the updates on that to actually apply for that. Is that correct?
Hi, Paulina.
Hi, yeah.
I'm gonna jump in here. So PPP is even my bank sent email to myself saying that they are now accepting applications for the payroll protection program. But I think that the bigger issue is that what we're finding is the federal government, they release these programs, but there wasn't a direct communication or a clear communication with the banks how to administer these programs or guidelines with regards to loan applications and who qualifies and whatnot. So it's created a bottleneck with regards to getting funding out the door and having people apply for those loans or being able to put loan applications in people's hands. It's that issue, as well as the issue that compounds it, are that some people don't bank with large banks. They may bank with community banks, they may bank with credit unions, and for folks that don't have relationships or already established business relationships with large banks, they are also being put towards the back of the line. So right now, this whole situation is fluid and everything's changing. I think that the best advice would be to apply for everything that you think that you may qualify for, and honestly, see what sticks. What should be happening is the SBA does not actually lend out the funds. They provide the funds, the bankers are gonna lend the funds. So what should be happening is you should get to a point to where your application has been received by a bank, and at which point you will be contacted by a lender. Once you're contacted by a lender, you can then start to move forward with the process. So if you applied for multiple loans and the lender eventually tells you, well, you can only take one, then I would at that point look at the loan that is most advantageous to you. But to start off, I would apply for everything that's out there available, only because in my eyes, we haven't gotten real clear guidance on what's going on. And it seems like some programs are moving ahead and other programs are moving a little bit slower.
Okay.
Is it okay if I make a comment to Ms. Pauline?
Sure.
All right. So Pauline, if I were you and you mentioned that you 1099 yourself, the PPP is intended for you to actually sustain payroll. 70% of that PPP is for you to consistently pay people who are on your payroll. If you're comfortable with the income that you can get from UIA or with the state of Michigan, I would weigh the two. You have 6 months of deferred payments if you go to the PPP or the Paycheck Protection Plan, but you also have a balloon within 24 months. So I don't know the style of business you have. I don't know if you have open accounts receivables, and if you're going to be able to transition quickly, but I would look at your debt balance and make sure you understand whether or not you can carry that balance. If you're only trying to figure out how to pay yourself or to get a little income into the business or into your own pocket, I would look at the UIA because that's what it's there for. I mean, for the first time, they're letting gig participants and 1099ers, independent contractors participate. If you're not carrying a load of other employees per se, I would very well sit down and write out the strategy for whether or not you feel you can actually incur additional debt.
Thank you. That is helpful to consider. I think me and my business partner are a partnership LLC, and we don't have any other employees that are not 1099. So I guess I'm trying to understand if I'm considered or we are considered employees of the LLC, or if not, because we don't take payroll. We take distributions or draws. So I don't know if it's easier to prove on the PUA side or the PPP side. But I appreciate the loan component of the whole
I would look
decision.
at the IDL. I would look at the emergency injury disaster loan first.
That is in the application. I am in process with that. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay. So it looks like we're...
Diane is calling in, Linda. As soon as, Diane, please make sure to email me your phone number so that I can change your phone number. You'll still be able to be seen visually, but you'll just use your cell phone for your audio.
Take it away,
Okay.
Jen.
Okay, so now we are ready for caller 133. These are the last 3 digits of your phone number. You are unmuted.
Hi, yes. My name is Sharon, and I just wanted to find out if someone could tell me how, since City Hall is closed right now, and I needed to see if my business name was available. Could someone tell me how would I go about that? Because normally I would go down to the city building.
What's the name of your business? Or what name are you going for?
It is Premier Mold Remediation.
I would actually suggest that you start with the state instead of the city, and you can file it through LARA, which is LARA. You can actually type into Google LARA corporate or business name search, and the website will come up for the state of Michigan, and it would allow you to search the name of your business to see if anyone has it. LARA will also allow you to file any paperwork to format your business through their website. As of 3 days ago, I know that the office for LARA is currently open, where they are processing the formations of businesses. So if you decide to go with the LLC and you apply, you should get your application received in about 3 business days.
Okay, I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And as far as like the the EIN number, Laura does that also?
No, that's through IRS. But there is a way to also do that online, which you'll be able to type it into Google.
I did Google that, and I saw that. So I'll check that out also.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, that was my question.
Thank you. And now we will go to caller 626. You are unmuted.
Hi, how are you? I have a question. I have like a 2-part question. I own an LLC. It's actually my son's, but he's under 18, so of course it can't be in his name, so it's under my name. But my question is, how can I create some type of payroll? Since he is like the main person behind the business, how can I create a payroll for him? That's my first part. And also, how can I gain some type of capital so that his business can grow?
Who would like to take that question?
I'll take a stab at it. It sounds like he's a minor. How long has the LLC been in business, and was it revenue generating, and were you paying him before a payroll?
He's been in business for about 2 years now. Yes, he did generate revenue, and we didn't have like a payroll system for him. He just basically took the revenues and saved it.
Okay, so you're saying he actually took the business income and just saved it? Are you doing tax returns on that?
I am. But there were some things that I was unclear about. Some of the financial reporting that you have to make for LLCs, I'm not really too clear about that, or how to even create those documents. But it was mostly on part, I just basically filed a Schedule C.
So I'll leave that for Dale. He's the CPA, but it's just a pass-through on your tax return. It sounds to me like you could just subscribe to a payroll service easily enough. And if you're looking for capital for the business, there are a number of micro lenders. They're not going to lend to a minor because they want the capacity to actually be made whole. So if you're going to be the primary, you can look at Detroit Development Fund, Prosperous Detroit.
Wait a minute, Detroit Development Fund?
Detroit Development Fund, Prosperous Detroit, the Michigan Women's Foundation, CIBC Bank, or you can actually go to Detroit BizGrid, pull down the funding or micro lenders, and they'll give you a link to all the ones with their particular.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, please?
Detroit BizGrid.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Laura answered your question very well. There's not much more I could add to it. I would say this though, as people are looking for financing, I know the SBA is overloaded right now. We have a very strong ecosystem of lenders that are providing funding and grants through the DGC, through Motor City Match, the same CDI Fair Fund, Chemical Bank, TCF. So I would look around for a lot of our local lenders. If you're looking
Oh, you kind of faded out a little bit.
For grant LLC. I'm sorry. To answer your question with regards to the LLC, once again, Laura was right on point. It's just a pass through. You don't need to create a payroll system. You don't need to hire a payroll company. In fact, I probably wouldn't advise it because you're just going to create a bill for yourself. Ultimately, your tax is based off of the net income of the business. So even if, let's say the business made $20,000 and his payroll was only $5,000, you would still be taxed on $20,000. Okay, even though you had this payroll. And then there are other ways when you're looking at getting a loan, or if he becomes of age and he wants to get a loan to prove your income other than showing a W-2. Financial statements and tax returns would be alternative ways to proving your income. So at this stage, if it's just him or just you and him, I wouldn't necessarily worry about setting up a payroll system. Instead, what I would do is regular draws, okay? And a draw is just taking money out of the business account and putting it into your personal account.
Okay.
So he may decide, you know what? All I need is $500 a month. Then that is his monthly draw. And then the rest of the money will be, set aside for business operations.
I see. That's very helpful. I understand. As far as financial statements, what type of financial statements do I need?
So I'm a QuickBooks Pro advisor. I consistently push QuickBooks. 80% of small businesses use QuickBooks. I would suggest starting there. There's different levels for this level. It actually operates differently than the other levels. So I would probably say QuickBooks Essentials. But if he's not making much money, you could do the lowest one, which is QuickBooks Self-Employed. But QuickBooks Essentials, it would give you a income statement, a profit and loss statement, a balance sheet, your agent reports. It gives you all of the financial statements that you need to be as a business. I've been an accountant. I've been a corporate accountant. I've worked for publicly traded companies. I've seen companies that make hundreds of millions of dollars.
That's great. Thank you. And what is your name, sir?
You can be a large player for yourself. Dale Grant. My website.
Dale Grant.
My website is ashtonbc.com, and it contains all of my contact information there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Financial statements, I would definitely pick an accounting system like QuickBooks.
And I just want, thank you, Dale. I just want Lily to chime in because a lot of these technical assistance providers, they can be reached through the DEGC. So Lily, could you just chime in and give our listeners directions on how they can get to the DEGC, and you guys could assist them with matching them with these providers after this meeting, if needed?
Yep, absolutely. So what you're going to want to do is find our website. It's D as in dog, E, G, C as in cat.org. And when you get there, you'll see on the homepage a button to navigate to our local business support for COVID-19. And when you get there, you're going to see a lot of information about what the SBA is offering right now. And if you scroll down a little bit, it kind of has step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4 says, how do I get help completing the loan application? And there's a link there to be connected with a specialist. And what it does is you click that and it asks for your contact information, and you will be matched with an expert for free to have a confidential conversation about your individual business one-on-one. And you can work with that expert to have any questions answered. They can help you directly with your application. And that is specifically for the SBA products right now. So I highly recommend looking into that. If you have questions or if you want one-on-one assistance with your application for the PPP, because it's a complicated process, and there is free help available. So again, it's on our website, degc.org. And I'll also give you my email address in case you have any trouble finding that. It's ehamburger@degc.org. And my name is Lily Hamburger.
Thank you, Lily. Okay, and now we have caller
Jalen.
305.
Jalen.
Yes.
Before we go any further, I see Diane. Diane is back with us. And if Diane would like to give us a little introduction about herself, business. Caller, if you could just hold on for just a second, we'll be right with you.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, Diane.
Can you hear me? Okay, great. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yay. Sorry about the technical difficulties, everyone, but I am Diane Walker. My business is DW LLC, and I am a technical assistant provider for Motor City Match participants, and we've had business plan workshops. So the things that we do, we develop business and marketing plans. We do financial projections and websites, and we set up the LLC and the operating agreement, which is very important when you're starting out a business to determine whether you're 100% owner or whether you are partnering with somebody else. That's like the Bible, so to speak. But that's my business. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction. Jalen?
Okay, thank you, Diane. And now we will have caller 305. You are unmuted.
Yes. Hello, this is Fred Jennings, Jennings Construction Services. I had a question, and I believe Mr. Grant was the CPA online.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Grant. Two things. One of the things we use QuickBooks, and my business is pretty new. We're about a year in now, and we've been pretty much putting everything in QuickBooks. But I needed a little bit more help of understanding some things now that tax time has rolled around, and I was just trying to see if possible, if there'd be a possibility maybe to get a conference with you, or maybe be able to call and set some time up that we can speak.
Absolutely. Let me give you my email address. So you can reach out to me, email me. I'm going to tell it to you, then spell it. Dale.grant@ashtonbc.com. DALE.grant@ASHTON, B as in boy, C as in child.com.
Okay, I believe I got that. Thank you.
Yeah, and we can set up a time to meet. We can do it via WebEx and do a quick book.
He faded out on us. I think you faded out. Yeah.
You did. You faded out, Dale. Your connection, it gets stuck a little bit. And so just repeat the last end.
Oh, what I said was that here, anyone else, you can contact me and we can do a WebEx QuickBooks training session.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Now we have caller 812. You are unmuted.
Hello. This question, I guess, is for the two marketing professionals on the line. I'm just wondering what small businesses should be doing in terms of marketing during the COVID-19 crisis.
Can I ask what kind of business you have?
It's a coffee shop.
So
Yeah, why don't you go?
Do you want to go?
First, and Jackie, you go first, and I'll just add on to anything that you nail it, or I just have a few more ideas. So we'll tag team. How's that?
Sure. So I was going to start off by saying, if you've captured anything in your point of sale system that has either emails or phone numbers, you can set up some type of system where in marketing automation where you can keep in contact with them. Also, if you've done anything on your social media, that would be a great way to stay engaged with them. But for right now, I would say definitely a lot of the more sit-down coffee shop places are really interacting with their customers via newsletter, trying to keep them engaged that way. Do you want to hop in?
Oh yeah. Well, are you doing curbside pickup, or have you completely shut down?
Yes, we're doing some curbside.
Well, this is what I've been telling my clients, is that now's the time to take the opportunity of figuring out how can you create more touch points with your clients. If you're doing curbside, is there something that will bring them back in a month with a 10% off or a free cup of coffee for being loyal to you? And it's also the time to take a look at your website and just evaluate your other marketing materials and your communications. You can't over communicate at this time. It doesn't mean you have to do sales, but just like Jackie was saying, if you have an email list, or if you don't, figure out a way to start capturing those emails so you can start taking this time to build up your marketing. There's other automated tools that you can look at online that will help you, like Hootsuite, ConvertFlow. It gives you tools that you can, if you can get website visitors to your website to generate leads. But I understand that you're retail, so if there's any, or restaurant, so if there's any way that you can come up with new ways to engage with the curbside pickup, that's what I would be working on.
And just on that point, this is Jasmine. I'm Council President's digital media manager. So on a digital media standpoint, you definitely want to continue to engage your consumer via social media. A lot of people don't have a lot of time right now, so they're on live. They're on social media. I know one of our vendors that we partner with for our holiday celebration, he's a chef. So he's consistently keeping his clients engaged in his brand because he's cooking on live and he's posting what he's cooking every day. So start posting, your favorite lattes and really engaging your consumer on the brand that you have so that you keep that appetite for your consumer in their mind. So start to actively utilize your social media, utilize hashtags. Popular hashtags, you can find those if you go in your search. Definitely go to other coffee pages, go to Starbucks, follow their followers, see what hashtags that they're using. So you definitely want to utilize that. Council President is starting a coffee and conversations on
Friday.
Next Friday, that we'll be doing weekly. So, join our coffee and conversations and talk about that, with your coffee. I mean, you have to kind of be creative to find your market in order to continue to still create an appetite for your brand with your consumers. So that's my suggestion as well.
This is Vivian. I was going to say small distribution. I said now you have time to reach out to a lot of the markets and grocery stores that are around you. And as we all know, their resources on certain days are very limited. So if you have blends that you can package and maybe work out some type of negotiation with those local stores, you can sell some of those products there, and you can, do the direct marketing through social media to at least get rid of any inventory that you have on hand so it doesn't go to waste. That's one of the things that I would recommend.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at those ways to really flesh out those social media plans and figuring out, is it time to tell your story now? Do people know how you all started? doing any type of live and doing your own coffee and conversations, maybe with some of the founders. I'm sure there are a lot of baristas that want to learn new techniques and things like that, or even showing people how to make their coffee at home. And then also like Vivian and I can't remember Trent Creatives. What's your first name?
Oh, Marilyn. Yeah.
Marilyn was saying, you know, now's the time to put all of those projects that you didn't have a chance to really focus on. So flush out your email marketing campaign. You know, when someone walks in your store, do you have a way to capture their email? Do you have a point system? That way, you know, you can remind them how to sign up and get, you know, after 5 lattes, they get 1 free because they supported you during quarantine. What does that look like? And being able to figure out how do you keep them engaged so that when they come back, they already feel like, you know, this is their coffee shop and they've been so ready to come back.
Great, thank you all.
Oh, just one last question. Do you have a website that has very much information on it? Because
yes, we do have a website.
Okay. If you're trying to get rid of product, and it is a little bit time consuming, but I did see where a small retail webinar on people that could integrate Weebly very efficiently and cost effective, so that you could create a real quick shopping cart through Weebly.com to just get it up there. And hey, your adrenaline might be high now, so you maybe not be able to sleep as much, so you can just take a look and see if you can stay up all night and load it all up.
Great, thank you. That's great.
You're welcome.
Well, awesome. I see we don't have any callers. Callers, this is your time right now. They are definitely here to answer any questions that you may have. So please, again, if you'd like to ask a question, just push *9. We will see the last 3 digits of your phone number once that telephone number is called, and you will be able to, we will call the last 3 numbers, and then we'll be able to unmute you so that you can ask your question. Again, if you do have a question for the panelists, please push *9. I'm going to just read over the list that we have of our panelists so that you know who is actually here with us if you were late coming in. So we have Laura Sigmund. She is with Best Practices Consulting Services. Hey, Laura. And we have Dale Grant with Ashton Business Consulting PLLC. His services is accounting. I'm sorry, Laura's service is business consulting. Shakima Melbourne, she is with Upton Law PLLC. Her service is legal. We have Diane Walker, who is with Diane Walker LLC. She is a business, her service is business consulting. We have Vivian and Jackie Palmer. They are with Good Life Agency LLC, and the services that they offer is branding and consulting along with marketing. Is that correct, Jackie? Let me unmute you.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I got that right. And we have Ashley Mitzi. She is with Accounting Aid Society. I'm sorry, I don't think Ashley is here. But we also have Marilyn Trent with Trent Creative, and her business, the services that she offers is marketing and branding. So again, if you have any questions for any one of these fine people, please, please push *9. This is your time to ask the questions. For those that have maybe have participated in one of our small business empowerment fairs in the past, this is the time where normally we have the vendor tables, and you are able to walk around and gather that information. Well, we are creative along with our panelists, and so now our panelists are here. They're available to you. Just push *9. We will see your hand up to ask a question, and you will be able to ask that question. Jalen, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Linda. So now we have our first caller. The last 3 digits of your number are 884. You are now unmuted. Caller 884.
Good afternoon, or good.
Go ahead, caller.
My name is Kimberly Red, and I own an electrical contracting company. We have been completely shut down since the shelter in place was invoked. I was trying to find out what kind of benefits for unemployment am I entitled to as the owner of the business.
This is Lily Hamburger from DEGC. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So there's a couple of things I would say. One is that the SBA product called Payroll Protection, PPP for short, is something that you should look into. There's also a resource that is being offered through the city. There's a consultant called Everything HR, and they are helping business owners such as yourself navigate the state's unemployment benefits for free. And I can find their email address for you. We have some information about that on our website, but I'm going to find the way that you contact them. It's called Everything HR. Just give me one moment and I'll come back with an email address for you.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, and if I could, I'd like to jump in quickly. As it pertains to the federal government, as well as the state, opened up unemployment for independent contractors and other people, but it's also another section that there has been some bottleneck to it. I know as late as last week, a lot of people had trouble with the state implementing the new unemployment guidelines that are available. So if you experience some frustration, give it a day, go back to it. It's just that a lot of people are overloading the system, but these programs are supposed to be in place. They're supposed to get funded, but they're not happening as fast as we would like them to. So just sort of a word of caution. Don't get frustrated by it. It's moving slower than what they promised it would move.
Okay, so I'm back with the email address for Everything HR.
Okay, go ahead.
It is support@everything HR, F as in Frank, S as in Sam, .net. Support@everythinghrfs.net.
ss.net. Okay. So that's support@everythinghrss.net.
Yeah, and the last 2 letters before the dot should be F as in Frank, then S as in Sam.
Oh, F as in Frank. Frank and S as in Sam.
Right.
FS. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. Wonderful. And Daryl, can you give me your email address? Because you were giving it out before and then you kind of cut out.
It's dale.grant@ashtonbc.com. DALE.grant, GRANT at ASHTON, B as in boy, C as in child.com.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, I think you guys answered all of my questions.
It's awesome. Okay.
And thank you very much for this informational session.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you so much for calling in. Hope you stay on the line to hear some of the other questions that they might be very helpful to you as well.
Exactly. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we are going to caller 400, caller 400. You are now unmuted.
Hello, everyone. And my name is Mary Nixon from M.A. Bailey. We are a PPE company. So thank everyone for taking the time to be with us today and to share your knowledge with us. I have a part 2 to the question that was just asked. Now, when will this application process for unemployment for business owners, when will that process be open and we're able to apply?
For unemployment benefits
Today.
with the state, it's open now. And for the PPP, it would be through your bank. And many of those are also open already.
Okay, so you said it's open right now. So I could go to this email and get in touch with someone who would be able to help me navigate that application process.
That's right.
Okay, all right, real good. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jackie wanted to chime. Jackie, did you want to chime in? Okay.
No, I just kept getting the unmute button for some reason.
Okay.
Okay, I believe we're moving on to the next caller. The caller is 150, the last 3 digits of your phone number. You are unmuted.
Okay, my name is Linda Johnson, and I want to direct this question to Marilyn Trent. I need the ABCs of branding as well as marketing. I do presentations, but I've written some books. One is a math book, and I've written 2 math books and a couple books on some other subjects. And 2 questions really. One, can you give me just any thoughts today? And then 2, will you give me your contact numbers so I can, or contact information so that I can contact you and maybe set up online consultation and find out what your fees are at that time?
So, I'm sorry, so what was the question?
Okay, 2 questions. One, I'm trying to do my branding and my marketing. I need ideas about those 2. And so my question 1 is, can you give me any thoughts about branding and marketing today? Although I've heard the marketing, some of the marketing, but today, anything that comes to mind, can you give me some suggestions about branding and marketing? And 2, I need your contact information.
Oh, okay. Well, the branding part is, the question is, do you know how can you differentiate yourself from other math books that people can respond to? And what is the value that you're bringing in your book? That is the reason why people would want to buy the book. And if you can that's what I do with the branding, is to clarify that message that helps give you that elevator speech that you can say very quickly and consistently to get people to say, tell me more, or that's exactly what I need. And you can do that through the facilitated session of questioning that we do, fact-finding and discovery, to discover that position in the marketplace. And that is the reason to buy, and your value proposition is what does that benefit bring your customer as your reason that you put forth to buy. We also have core values and create a brand voice for you, a brand promise, and a brand roadmap that can support all your marketing materials and help you with some go-to-market, key messaging, and unique selling propositions. Does that help? It's a lot.
I heard the part about discerning what is different from your books than other people's, but I didn't hear the last part. But if you give me your contact information, I will contact you and see what your fees are for that, for consultation.
Yeah, they are scaled to small to large businesses. My number is 248-250-3198.
I'm sorry, Marilyn. Could you repeat that?
Oh, okay. 248-250-3198.
Great.
Oh, 3198. Okay.
Right.
Thank you so
If
much.
I could just interject, I do, Linda Johnson, this is Linda Wesley from Council President Brenda Jones' office, and I've met Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Times. Hi. Linda has a very, very unique way of teaching children, and she is she's a retired math teacher, and I wish you could really just take a look at her book. It is, she has it set up. The way that she teaches children is so, and even young adults, is so unique. I've never seen anything like it. So Linda, I definitely wish you well, and we hope that you connect with one of the panelists that we have, if not one, but several, because you have a gift. You are very gifted, and we are so thankful to have you in the city of Detroit.
Thank you, Linda. I just saw your picture yesterday. Thank you so much. And I want to say to that, I am so appreciative of Councilwoman Brenda Jones, as well as yourself, Linda Wesley, for putting all of this together. I know it was a team, but it seemed as though it's a team of 1.5 million people to be able to put all this together with these dynamic consultants.
Yes, well, I will definitely relay that message to Council President Jones and Council Member Ayers. They are definitely the ones that kind of steered this, and I will pass that on. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much. And just one other thing, just for the humor of it all, when I started doing math when I was about 4 or 5 years old, the street numbers were very, very just all over. And one of the things that people used to say was, now I lay me down to slumber. I pray the Lord, I'll hit the number. If I should die before I wake, put a dime on 308. And it was that kind of flavor that I started doing math, because numbers were everywhere. But I was too little to participate in that. But math came out of that. Yes. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling, and stay. I hope you stay on the line and listen.
Oh, I am. I'm listening. Okay. I've been on the line for a while.
You. This is Vivian. Can I just add something? I would also like to get her contact information, because we work with a lot of K-12 schools, not only in Michigan, but in DC, in Texas as well. And then also to share that we do, before this whole event around Corona, we do free workshops once a month. They're about 1.5 hours, 2 hours on Saturdays, where we go through, some of the components, and we're looking at bringing those things to an online portal probably within the next 30 to 45 days.
Excellent.
Oh,
Linda, I just want to check you at 7 o'clock. So we probably should prepare for a 7:30 wrap up as it relates to our Q&A. We have, it looks like, 5 more callers. So callers, if you have any questions, please raise your hands, because we'll be cutting off the meeting within the next 30 minutes.
Okay. So do you want my contact information now, or?
You don't want to give it right now. Vivian, if you could give her your email address so that she can email you.
Yes, it's Vivian at thegoodlifeagency.com.
Agency.com. Got it.
Yep.
Thank
and
you.
My phone
Vivian.
number is 248 882 3368.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, and now we will be going to caller 626. Caller 626, you are unmuted.
Hi, my name is James Sumlin. I'd like to thank the panel for all the great information that you're giving out today. I had a question about the earlier session at 4 o'clock. I was not able to tune in, and I was wondering if you're going to rerun it or if there's some way that I can pull it up online, or is it pre-recorded or anything?
Yes, you will be able to get it from Council President Brenda Jones' Facebook page.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. I have that already. Thank you.
Just go to Facebook and look for Brenda Jones.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Okay, and now we will be going to caller 414. Caller 414, you are unmuted. Caller 414.
First of all, I want to thank you for this forum, but just wanted to know, as an entrepreneur looking to grow their brand, what would be the best way to contact you folks? What should I bring with me as far as, should I do a sit down? What's the best way for me to know if it's a good fit to do business together? What would you suggest on what's worked in the past and how you've created relationships with your clients?
Hi, this is Diane Walker. What you can do is you can get on Motor City Match's website under technical assistant providers, and what they do have is a summary for all the business providers that are there, and it also has links to their particular websites. And I think most of the people, well, I can only speak for myself, that we offer free consultation for the first 30 minutes. And you can make a determination at that time whether we are fit for you or you are fit for us. And I know that I do the Zoom and Duo and some of the other mediums, and I can also talk to you by phone.
Thank you.
Okay, and now we will be going to caller 414. Or sorry, okay, we'll be going. Yeah, caller 414. You're unmuted.
It's caller 400.
Oh, okay.
Caller 400.
Yeah.
Okay, you're unmuted. You may ask your question, please.
Hi, thank you. This is Mary Mixon again. Real quick, is there any way for us to get a list of the panelists today and all of their contact information?
Absolutely. The information will be, are you on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, if you go to Council President Jones' page, we do have a copy of the flyer there. This meeting is being recorded, and it will also be posted on Council President Jones' Facebook page as well. Either, if not today, probably within the next couple of days. So always
I'm sorry. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, just Tech Council President's Facebook page, Brenda Jones, and that information will definitely be posted. On the flyer, you will see on the part 3 of the series, it gives their name, the business that they represent, and the type of service that they provide.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. I did print that off before the call today, but I was thinking more so about their phone numbers and email, their actual contact information.
Okay, if you'd like to call our office, we can make sure, or Lily, is that something that you would like for them to maybe contact your office for, or if not, they can call our office and we can get that information and provide it.
Yes, absolutely. I'll give my email address one more time. It's ehamburger@degc.org.
Okay, yeah, I have that.
Okay. All right. Thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you both.
Okay, and now we have caller 723. Caller 723, you are unmuted.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Teresa Williams, and I have a couple questions for anyone that feels, they would like to answer. What advice, just general advice, would you guys give to someone just has an idea? Where would you say that they should start? And then also for the Motor City Match funds or the grant funds, as far as physical improvements to a business, what are some of the barriers to that grant that you have observed? How can people, I guess, get around those barriers, or what have been some things that you guys observed as far as that's concerned?
This is Lily from DEGC. So our organization has run Motor City Match for the last 5 years. And anyone who is going through the program, we always make sure that they have a solid business plan. And there are organizations that can help you write a business plan and walk you through all the steps needed to do that. Build Institute is a good one. Prosper Us Detroit is another good one. And there are others. Many of the consultants on this panel tonight have worked with some of our business plan awardees and provided assistance to folks who are in that stage of the process. But it's really important to flesh out your idea and make sure you know what you're getting into financially before investing in a brick and mortar space. And I will add that Motor City Match does not have any rounds open right now. We're not open for applications right now. And given the uncertainty of the situation, I can't say when the next round will be open. So just bear that in mind. But I do think that before jumping into brick and mortar, it's really important to write that business plan so that you have an understanding of what the costs are going to be to start up your business, and then how much money you're going to need to be bringing in to keep up a brick and mortar space.
Yes, ma'am. I understand what you're saying, but I'm past that part. I already have a
Got it.
brick and mortar
Okay.
space. So what I'm wondering, I know there was a program to, I guess, if you get 2 other people on the street or 2 other businesses to come into, I guess, doing physical improvements with you? And is there a minimal amount that you have to have available as a business owner to invest for that?
So I think you're referring to the Motor City Restore program, which is very, the names are so similar, but Motor City Restore is indeed for those who are already in their brick and mortar spaces. And it is up to $25,000 in a matching grant for exterior improvements to your business. And the thing about getting...
You said matching grant. So what's the minimal amount that I would have to match? $25,000?
Yeah, so you would have to put up all of the costs up front, and then you get reimbursed 50% up to $25,000. So if you are going, it depends what you're trying to do to your building and what the cost of that is. And the thing about getting your neighbors to participate is that we can match up to 75% of your costs with the same cap of $25,000 if we have multiple businesses, neighboring businesses in close proximity to each other doing the program at the same time. But once again, Motor City Restore is not open for applications right now.
Right. I understand they're not open for applications, but who is in charge of that, and who sets these standards? Because, I mean, it's just, to me, a lot of this sounds good, but when it really gets down to the nitty-gritty, people can't access it. There's a lady that I spoke with. She has a flower shop, and she applied for this Restore or whatever, but she didn't have the matching fund. She's in the business for years. She didn't have $25,000 sitting around to, if she had more like $5,000 or 3,000 or 2,000, but the standard is so high, it's like you're excluding people. So that needs to be reworked, I think. You know, that's just my opinion.
Well, I think,
who would I talk to about that?
I can put you in touch with my
council?
colleague who's I have a colleague at DGC who manages the program, and he can explain all the different ways that projects have been financed that have been successful and things like that.